All right. Check 1 2, check 1 2. I think the mic is working. I checked this a little while ago and it was kind of iffy. I'll be perfectly honest. Anyway, hey Nuggets, welcome to the food truck. My name's Ruka, and hello Benny, hello Skill. How's it going? I didn't think I'd be kind of sort of back after a week, but I don't think I'm back quite yet. Also, how's the sound? I am expecting a lot of echo in this room. The echo is going to be probably terrible. I'm not even sure if my audio is coming in clearly. Uh, I am currently not in the best setup right now. Let me just show you my setup really quick. I don't know if I showed this to, well, I kind of showed, I think I kind of showed this in the Discord server, but let me just show you my setup really quick, and you're probably going to cringe at it. I cringe at it. I like it. I like my current setup, but it would be nice to have a proper, you know, a proper. Why is it not showing up? Oh, is it because it's under me? It would be nice to have a proper, what do you call this? Ah, uh, setup right now, but this is currently what the PC setup looks like. I have no desk. My stuff is not here. I can't cook properly. I can't do much of anything. So I just have boxes. I don't know if you play those gotcha games where it allows you to like make dorm rooms and stuff. And some of them, you know, you get like moving boxes because you're like in a new room and and what do you call this? You got like stuff that you need to, what do you call, you need like basic furniture and all you got is boxes. That's how it was in Girls Frontline. And right now I'm in my Girls Frontline phase of having cardboard boxes on the floor as well as boxes for a table and other stuff. 1010 setup, I do think so too, but it's not very stable. It's very low. Um, and my mic situation isn't really great. You can kind of see the mic right underneath the keyboard there. It doesn't look bad. I mean, it really technically isn't. I feel like the jankiest part of this is where my mic is situated. This is currently my mic setup, okay? I don't know where I heard this, what do you call it? I don't know where I heard this hack from, but I got like a like a paper towel thing and just jammed the cord through the middle of the paper towel, and that's where the mic is. I think it works better in front of me compared to like being on top of the box. It's just better audio wise, and it works. I don't know though. Is the echo bad? I hear echo. Is the echo bad? That's my main concern right now. If the echo is terrible, it's going to limit what I want to do for the rest of the week. So it's the thing is my internet's good. My computer setup is okay. It's workable. But my audio quality, I haven't tried checking it out yet. I wanted to do it live on stream, get some feedback from you guys, how bad the echo is. I hear echo right now in this room. My walls are bare. I have like almost zero furniture. But echo. Maybe I'll fine tune it later, but I want to get some feedback from you guys regarding it. 15% sure that you have COVID. 1.2% sure you have cancer, so life could be better. Well, if you have COVID, you'll get through it. You'll get through it. A lot of people have. As long as you're vaccinated, you should be mostly fine. In the 1.2 chance that you do have cancer, at the very least, you caught it early, so maybe the doctor can do something about it. I don't know. That's all I'll say about that. That's all I'll say about that. But anyway, PC setup aside, I hope everything is good with you guys for the past week. I wanted to stream, cannot stream. Actually, I think I just moved in. When did I move in? 3 days ago. So 3 days ago, I moved into my new place. Um, and then what happened afterwards? Oh yeah, I set up the PC 2 days ago, and I think it's either yesterday or today I decided I want to stream, I want to do some recordings. So I went ahead and set up the mic stuff. And now we're doing a test stream. Essentially this is a test stream. Essentially what this is a test stream for audio checks and whatnot. And hopefully we get the audio stuff sorted out, because that's what we're working on at the moment. Yeah, I hope you do get better skill. But anyway, so let me just say, in the past week so far of moving, I absolutely hate driving. I already hated driving before, all right? And I think I can tell you where I came from. I don't think I can tell you where I'm going. But let's just say it took me basically 3 days to get to where I am right now. And each of those days were like 8-hour drives, 10-hour drives, and the last day was like just a 3-hour drive, but it was a very painful 3-hour drive. And I'm gonna explain all of that. Like, anyone who drives right now and say they like driving, you may like driving in the town you're in. You may like driving in like very short distances to places you like to go to. But when you actually start doing long distance driving, anything longer than maybe an hour or 2 hours, it's like, do you really like driving? I don't know. That's the best way I can say it. Do you really like driving? My throat's tried to kill me plenty of times before. Like, I nap wrong and my mouth is open, and I guess my mouth is open when I nap, and my throat dries. It's crazy. And I try to stream afterwards. It's not good. It's not a good recipe. It really is not a good recipe. So yeah, you could try using 2 pieces of sound canceling foam to strap it to your head. Worked for... Well, yeah, the thing is, I'm trying not to buy any foam right now. I do have... Speaking of foam, I think I do have like padding foam that was used to pack the PC parts. Though one of them is in the box I'm currently using as a desk, and that would mean I have to get everything off said box and get that foam out, which is a pain in the butt right now, and I really don't want to do that until the desk comes in. And the other foam, I have like 2 pieces of foam, and the other foam is like in the closet right now, which I can use, but it's like, okay, well, but let's just make sure there is an echo, right? Because if there is an echo, that means I'm gonna have to wait again a little bit before I do any recordings, or at least proper stream, because otherwise I feel like the echo takes a little bit away from the stream itself. Today is just a test. Today is just a test as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I guess I should have, what do you call this, tested it by myself, but I would like to know how bad it actually is from everyone else, because my ears, I can't hear it technically when I'm streaming. I do recording and I would have to play it back, but the playback will also echo in this room, because, you know, that's how sound works. So I figured the fastest way to do it is stream, get feedback on how bad the echo is, and if it's super bad, then let's not stream anymore for the rest of the week, or do any new recordings the rest of the week, and wait until everything comes in, and then I can tweak it further from there, because I can't, because right now it's like going to be a little bit premature to add foam to the walls and stuff without knowing where the furniture is going to be, where the things like how much stuff is going to be in the room that's going to absorb or maybe reflect sounds. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now regarding the sound issues. That's really why we're in this situation. Okay, Skill, I hope you feel better. Take some meds and yeah, get some rest. Get some rest, please. Thank you for dropping by, though. Thank you for dropping by. But yeah, in any case, it's been, I mean, the week so far, not well, it hasn't been a week yet, but the week, last week has been absolutely interesting. I say interesting in a good way, in a bad, and also in a, I don't think of that, I don't think the 3 day drive was particularly bad in and of itself. It's just very annoying, and I am very glad that I did not what do you call it? I did not aspire to be a truck driver or take up a take up being a truck driver of any sort. Yes, we got the food truck, but that's a little bit different. The food truck is where I do things and like sleep and travel in and sleep in while I travel. But the actual room I'm in right now is a separate place from the food truck itself. And this is where I just relax because let's be perfectly honest, as comfortable as the food truck may look, right? As comfortable as a food truck may look, it is still very cramped. Still very, very cramped, and I can only have so much stuff in there. So, oh well. Oh well. But yeah, 3 days, I think. So, first day was like 8 hour drive from where I was all the way to like the Gulf and stuff. The Gulf, the Gulf of Oysters. Let's just call it the Gulf of Oysters for now. And that wasn't actually too bad. It was interesting though to see the roads kind of split. Well, hypothetically, a food truck. It's not a food truck per se. I just call it the food truck. If I had an actual food truck, that would be very expensive, I think, to operate. I don't have that kind of cash. Nah, I just call it the food truck. But just imagine I have let's see. Just imagine that the food truck looks like what I have in the opening, this thing. Just imagine that the food truck looks like that. And yeah, just imagine it looks like that. But if I were to get this for real, I think I would modify the initial design because the initial design right now, as funky as it is probably not the best. I mean, I've seen RVs look more solidly built than this, but this is the initial design. Maybe at some point I can improve this. I think the top part is solid. The top part of the food truck is solid. It's the bottom part I need to work on. Like the bottom part, if you haven't seen these things called jeepneys, like you've heard of jeeps, right? But jeepney specifically is a passenger vehicle in the Philippines made partly out of military jeep parts, or at least jeep parts in general. So that's kind of why the front part looks like a jeep, and the back end of the jeepney is a bit longer. That's to like hold passengers and transport them and stuff like that. That's why it kind of looks the way it is. I feel like a RV slash camper style of jeepney might be something in the future that I would like to actually have, like personally. But that's a very far thing, and that's more like I'm not doing anything else in the world except like just traveling and whatnot. That's, I don't know. That's dreams at the moment, and maybe some stuff at the on the side would be great. Actually, I don't know why I thought about this. To be honest, I think there was this one manga that I read a while back that had a food truck as one of the main things in the manga. But I don't know if this is spoilers or not. I don't know if there's spoilers or not. But I think the food truck is like partly military. Like the food truck has a cannon. It also has a kitchen in the back, no actual beds, but it also houses. I think it also houses a cannon. I think on top of the food truck, and the food truck can actually fight back. I think it's like called Crazy Food Truck or something. And right, there's no sleeping space except for maybe the floor. And this food truck is in a post-apocalyptic world. There we go. And the guy makes sandwiches each day, or at least whatever he can make, uh, based on the very few ingredients that he can find. And oftentimes he doesn't get any customers because guess what? There is no one around. There is no one around. So all the food that he makes, like let's say he makes 6 sandwiches for a day, he eats all 6 sandwiches himself because there's no one else around to buy them. And even if there is anyone there around, I don't think they got money. So it's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Excuse, excuse me. Excuse me. I'm okay though. But yeah, anyway, 8 hours that first day from where I was to the Bay of Oysters, and that was pretty interesting to see the landscape change from, what do you call this? From like flat land, flat dry lands into somewhat foresty. I'm not sure what kind of trees they were. Maybe they were mostly oak, maybe they were mostly cedar. It's really, I don't know my trees very well. And then after this one bridge, right, the bridge that divided the two places to get the two places, it went from basically kind of sort of wide open spaces into two separate roads, two going inbound, two going outbound, 2 lanes going inbound, 2 lanes going outbound, and each side of the highway was lined by, I don't know what kind of trees they were. I don't think they were pine trees or like palm trees. They kind of look like willows. No, I don't think I saw willows until near the end of the trip. I don't know, but there were these like really, really tall trees, right? Not palm trees, but they were kind of tall. They kind of look like pine trees, but they're not really pine trees. I don't know how else to describe them. And they just basically lined that entire highway. And in the middle of the two sets of roads is basically just empty space, either an island or an actual hole, because there's water all around that place. It's like a coastal area, so there's like water everywhere, and it was kind of neat. But the thing that sucked about that road was I was stuck on that road for a very good 600, 800 miles. Yeah, it was a very long road. Being stuck on that road for 800 miles over 2 days, not fun. It really grinded at my, what do you call this, my sanity. Like the drive itself, 8 hours is long enough. When you're stuck on the same road for 8 hours, I don't know about you or if anyone else has driven for that long, but if I'm on the same road for any length longer than an hour, maybe even 30 minutes, I would go crazy, and I nearly did. I also nearly fell asleep a couple of times. And just because it's such a boring drive. Yes, the scenery looks pretty. I got rained on a couple of times during that trip, and each time it rained, I couldn't see anything past the windshield because holy crap, the rain was really, really strong, and my windshield wipers were not great. They probably haven't been replaced in the past 2 years and whatnot. So that doesn't help. Apparently, you're supposed to replace them every 6 to 12 months, but I am very, very bad about that. So that's not happening. Or at least that didn't happen. And it's like, what do? What do? I think for them, I don't know how I kept sane for that long, but it wasn't fun. It definitely wasn't fun. The I think the main thought I had during that entire time was, don't get into an accident, don't get into an accident, don't get into an accident. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Don't get into an accident because it's a very long drive, and I had to be at a certain place at a certain time 3 days later, and it's just like it's mentally taxing. I don't know how. Well, I guess I do know how. I was about to say I don't know how like truck drivers deal with the long hours on the road, the concentration and whatnot. Truck drivers, props to them. They have a much heavier load to deal with and probably much tighter deadlines than I ever will have. So it's like, what am I going? It's like much. It's like terrible. Were there no rest stops or anything? There were rest stops, but the thing about the rest stops is I tended not to take them, and the only time I really stopped was if I had to get water, or or go to the restroom, or gas. The amazing thing during the entire trip was that for that first 8 hours, okay, for the first 8 hours, I did not have to gas a single time. My tank was able to tank 500 miles. And, well, 550 miles about. It was crazy. I don't think I ever got that much mileage in one tank. And it's like, holy crap. And I was convinced that I could do the second day's trip only gassing up once after the first day. But no, I had to gas twice for that second day's trip because it was it was a 10-hour drive, and it was like more stop and go traffic near the end. But yeah, as far as the rest stops go, there were rest stops. I will say though, I didn't really stop where you would think I stopped. I think on the first day, after maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, I didn't need to stop. I did not need to stop. But I saw this one gas station. It's a very famous gas station. You may have heard of it. I'm gonna try to get a picture of the stuff I got from there, but you may have heard of it. It's called Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's, if no one knows what Buc-ee's is, it's a gas station, yes. But what Buc-ee's really is, it's a full-on service station. It's basically the size of most Buc-ee's facilities, and I've seen it a couple of times, but I never went until this journey, okay? And it was a journey. But most Buc-ee's facilities is gigantic. It's like the size of a really large grocery store. And I've heard these stories of the food. The food was absolutely fantastic. Let me get you a picture of the food I got. Honestly, just stopping over and stretching your legs is nice for sanity. This is true. And I try to do that like every 4 or 5 hours. I think most people recommend doing it after every 2 hours. But if I do that every 2 hours for like 10 to 15 minutes, and we're doing an 8-hour drive in a day, that's 1 hour lost to stretching And depending on what time of the day I start driving from, then you get to your place 1 hour later. Yeah, it might save your sanity, but depending on how late it is, you really don't want to be there like 1 hour later just because of how dark it can get. But it is summer, so it didn't get that dark too quickly. But the second day, I had to be a bit more aware of that because that second trip was like 10 hours, and holy crap, that was terrible. But anyway, this is what I got at Bucky's. You can't really tell, and it kind of looks like, what do you call this? Something else. But this is a chopped brisket. This is not pulled pork. This is chopped brisket. That kind of looks like a sloppy Joe. Kind of looks like a, what do you call this? A pulled pork sandwich. But it was the most meaty and fatty thing at the same time, and saucy thing at the same time that I've ever eaten from a truck. From not I guess you can't call it a truck stop, from a service station. Uh, and it was great. But they had more than this, right? They had more than this. They had a full counter of food, like sliced brisket sandwiches and sausages. And there was this like one guy. I have a picture of the guy, by the way. Hope he's okay with this. Probably not. But we'll do it anyway. Because it's better. I like showing things that I've seen. I like showing things I've seen. But there was this one guy. See this guy in the back with the... I was gonna say the guy with the cowboy hat, but they all have cowboy hats. They all have cowboy hats. But this guy over here in the middle of the picture, right above the sandwiches, chopping the meat. He was going to town chopping the brisket for the sandwiches. And it was amazing to see this in you can't call it a convenience store. If this is a convenience store, this is the most convenient convenience store in the country, basically. At least this chain. And every single time I passed up going to Bucky's along the route I was taking after this first one, it killed myself because Bucky's is known specifically in the place I came from, but not so much. I think at least I don't think it's a thing in any other place, but there are some locations outside where you can actually you can have all this stuff. And I want to see if the quality was just as good in those other places, but I never actually got to I never actually got to. Well, no, it's not that I didn't get to. It's more like I chose not to because I didn't think I need to do anything at that time. So that was on me. But that was on me. But this place was absolutely huge. If you look at this area right here, in most places, that's the size of the convenience store, right? This cooking area where the food and the brisket shopping is, that's the size of most convenience stores. This is just one section of the entire place, and this entire place was like maybe about 30 times bigger than this just one section. It's amazing. It was amazing. I wish I stopped more. Full service stop is right. It could be a full-on smokehouse if it wanted to. This is true. This is true. If Bucky's had its own barbecue restaurant, that would have been amazing. Sadly, I don't think they do, but Bucky's is a destination itself. Even if you don't need gas or anything like that, you can just drop by there for the food. That's it. The only issue is they're so far and few apart that you'll be lucky if you were near one of these places. And I saw it a couple of times when I was driving south from where I used to be, visiting another friend. But I never thought to stop there because I didn't know what it was. I just saw the gas station. I didn't realize there was something else huge on the other side. And it wasn't until like maybe a year or two ago that I had a better appreciation of the brand and the locations. So it's like, if I ever get a chance, and it's on the way, I should actually visit this at least once. And I finally did, and it was great. And I wish I went there even more, because I think one of the other things they're really known for is the, what's it called? The caramel popcorn. I think it was a caramel popcorn. Or no, it's not. They don't call it that. They don't call it that. It's like, you know the Cheetos. You know Cheetos, the big Cheetos puffs. It's kind of like those, except no cheese, and it is covered absolutely in sugar. It's like, I think they call it nuggets, Bucky's Nuggets or something like that. And I've had those a couple of times when people brought it to the last place that I worked at, and yeah, people would go to town on those things because they're so addicting. It's not like it's super sweet. It is kind of sweet, but it's also like just good. It's like caramel popcorn, but in Cheeto puff form is the best way I can describe it, and it was absolutely great. It was absolutely great. And I'm sure the rest of their sandwiches and other stuff would also be really good if I actually tried it. It was amazing. It's also amazing though, other than that, I got water from this place, and it's like, water, get water from a convenience store, gas station is gonna be crazy expensive because that's kind of what they do. But here was actually, I think it was like more grocery store prices. I think I got like a 1 liter of water for about $1.80, so under $2. And normally that's the amount you pay for like a 500-liter bottle. And it's amazing how reasonable their prices are. Like, guess really quick. Guess really quick how much those sandwiches would cost you. Just toss me a number. Just toss me a number. Because when I first grabbed the sandwich, I didn't think much of the pricing, or at least I didn't see the price until after I looked at the receipt and after I checked the packaging. Apparently the price on the packaging for the price on the sandwiches is on the bottom of the packaging. That's what they use to seal the foils, and it's actually quite reasonable. It's kind of like what you would expect from a fast food place, but the quality is so much better. And of course, it's going to be a little bit more expensive because they're using brisket and not just some hamburger patty. Can't guess if I can't guess. I'm not sure if the currency, maybe 5 to 10. Yeah, let's say your typical McDonald's is like from the dollar menu, $1, but it's like a sad little patty that no one really cares about. Yeah, okay, you might like your dollar menu patty, but that $1 patty from McDonald's is nothing to the greatness of this sandwich. It is nothing to this. Like, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna zoom into the sandwich. This sandwich was, I think, almost $8. I think it was like 7.80 or something like that. Like, it sounds kind of high, but when you're thinking beef sandwich with that's like packed to the brim like this, and barbecued and sauce, barbecue by itself. If you're not familiar with really good barbecue in general, it's expensive. It's super expensive, just because of the amount of time and labor it takes to make the barbecue. But here it's like maybe about an $8 sandwich. I think most anywhere else that you like, if you get this from an actual barbecue joint, that's probably going to be upwards of $10 or more, which, fair. But for this place, that's actually quite reasonable. And it's just good. It's just good. But yeah, that was my experience with Bucky's, and that's I hope I get I hope I can find more of that. If I don't, there's no Bucky's anywhere near me. I'm kind of sad about that. I think the nearest Bucky's near me is like 3 hours away, and I'm not gonna drive 3 hours away just to get a little taste of home. That would be that would be insane. But I'm already planning a 2 hour plus trip this week. I haven't started my new job yet. Okay, I'm here in this new place because I have a job. I've accepted a new job, right? But I'm not starting the job yet until like next week. So I still have a little time to do a little exploration and a little bit more uh, traveling. So I'm already planning a 2 hour trip one way, so 4 hours two ways, to find a Jollibee. There are Jollibees. There are two Jollibee locations uh, close to where I am, but they're both 2 hours apart. So I have to pick which one to go to, and I'm gonna pick the one that has a little bit better review. Apparently, good brisket is hard to find and so convenient. I'll take it. Yes, good brisket is indeed hard to find. This I will say though, the brisket quality in Bucky's probably not the greatest, but but what they do with the brisket that they do have is pretty good. So I will take that. I will take that. Just because it's it's there's different levels of barbecue. There's different levels of brisket, and typically if you get brisket from a actual barbecue joint, you're looking at anywhere from $10 to $15 per half pound. No, maybe about, yeah, 10 to 15. Is it 10 to 15? It's at least 10 to, yeah, maybe about $10 to $15 per half pound. It's expensive. It can get pretty expensive. Like, you see all this meat in Instagram and Twitter of barbecue, and it's just like this huge plate of different cuts of meat. That plate of meat is probably upwards of $100, if not more. If not more. Oh, jeez. But yeah. But yeah, I'm already planning. I think about a 2 hour trip for just to find a Jollibee. Now there was a Jollibee, I think about 2 hours away also from where I used to be at, but the town that it was in is like really terrible, like really terrible to drive around because there's like so much traffic, there's so much congestion that I just didn't want to deal with it. So I decided not to do that. But I'm hoping the locations I'm going to be going to, at least one of the locations, because they're both the same distance, but I hope the location I go to won't be too terribly hard to get to, and you know, the food is going to be good. We had to prepare some of it for an event, cooked overnight. It's a pain, but it's an amazing result. Yes. I've never made brisket myself before, just because it does take a long time, and if you do want to make good brisket, ideally you need a smoker, but I think you can get away with just having like a grill, like just a regular grill, but a smoker is ideal. And very low, very slow. I think the ideal cooking temperature for a brisket is like around 200 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just a little bit under 100 Celsius. It's kind of crazy to think about cooking meat at that temperature, but you cook this meat for 16 hours, roughly, about typically 16 hours, I think, is what most barbecue joints do, and the results speak for itself. The results speak for themselves. Now, keep in mind that you're not just slapping the meat on the grill or the smoker and cooking it straight. No, some places do just a rub, some places do a marinade and then a rub, and or a bunch of other things, but I mean, there's like there's at least seasoning that goes on there, and before you do the actual cooking process. So, but it does take a long time. It does take a long time because apparently the brisket is a tough piece of meat to cook, but it does have very, very good flavor and all that stuff. But yeah, I think after the first day, the second day was a 10-hour drive, and I think I had to stop like a couple of times. I try to stop, try to break that up after like 5 hours, every 5 hours. But I don't know. There was the second day's drive was absolutely crazy though, because you know when you're driving, a few things can happen. You can find accidents, or you can find unexpected weather. And when I say unexpected weather, yeah, I mean rain. Now, rain by itself isn't terrible, right? Rain by itself isn't terrible, but heavy rain while you're driving, where it limits your visibility and you can't see anything, now that's frightening. That actually is frightening. And I ran into like 5 instances of that on the second day, and it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. It's like 5 instances of heavy rain for, I don't know, it felt like minutes, let's say 5 to 10 minutes each time, but it felt longer than that because of just how much visibility and how much loss of control you have. I don't know if anyone here has driven in very heavy weather, but let me just try to explain it. And also, hello workshop, welcome. But let me just explain the situation with driving in heavy rain. It's not like when you're on a highway with nowhere to stop on this side, and your only choice is to keep going forward on a 2-lane highway, okay? On your 2-lane highway, both going the same direction, thankfully, with trucks and other cars around you going at 60 or 70 miles per hour in heavy rain. It's scary. It is scary, especially when your visibility drops from being able to see all the way at the end of the road to 0. And you can only see basically right in front of you, even when you have the wiper maxed out, and the wiper is not helping one bit. The only way you're actually going to be able to get help when in that kind of weather is to slow down. Like, I think so I slow down enough to where I feel like I can still control the vehicle, and slow down enough to where I can see where I'm going and make sure I don't drift to the side. Because if I drift to the side, like one side or the other too much, either I would fall off the highway or I would bump into a giant 18-wheeler truck and get myself very, very injured, as well as anyone else behind me. So that was kind of scary, and I had to deal with that 5 times during the second day. Yeah, some people did wait it out. I noticed that some people waited out on the side, but in some cases there's no way there's like nowhere to wait out. Like, it's impossible to go to the side because for some reason the highways around here do not have a like a shoulder, an emergency shoulder to just stop. It's like grass, and the grass is it's like sloping down, and I don't know. Some people did do that. Some people did try to wait it out. But I'm also kind of thinking, how heavy is this rain? Is this rain gonna flood? Is this rain going to is this rain gonna stop anytime soon? Those that were my thoughts. So the only thing I can do is like keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. It's dangerous, but I kept pushing forward. Very, very injured is just putting it mildly when messing with 18 wheelers. Yeah, I know. I had to put it mildly, but the consequences are very real if that happens. Thankfully, I don't think any accidents happened. Especially with myself, I don't think any accidents happened with anyone else during that journey. So that's a good thing. Feeling hungry, feeling seafood, feeling hungry now. Well, yes, the food is great. Food is great. But yeah, thankfully though, after that 10-hour drive that second day, everything was quite a bit better. Didn't run into any other heavy rain situations, thankfully. Heavy rain, the one game I probably will never play on stream because it's all quick time events. I don't do just quick time events, guys. There's a reason why I don't play Detroit Become Human or Heavy Rain or any of that particular developer's games on stream. It's just because it's all quick time events. Yeah, there are some choices, but it's mostly quick time events. And like, no, no, that's not the kind of gameplay we do here. That's not the kind of gameplay we do here. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, I think the main issue I have with this new place I'm in right now, not the place I'm staying in, but driving around this new place, is that it takes 3 hours to drive 150 miles. And so that probably averages about 50 miles per hour. If that 150 miles was is where I used to live, that would take like 2 hours and then a little bit over 2 hours, maybe like 2 to 2.5 hours tops. But here that takes like 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I'm like, why? Why does everything take so long to get around? It's crazy. And the reason why is because they put the highways through the towns, or at least not the interstates, but the local highways through towns. And because you're putting the local highways through towns, the speed fluctuates way too much. Like it fluctuates every 10 minutes or something. So it becomes really difficult to go around, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's annoying at best. And it's also really bad that I'm in the part of the country where I wouldn't call it remote, but I would call it very hard to get to. That it's not remote, but it's hard to get to. Like way too many bottlenecks. Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. Too many bottlenecks. And like I think the interstate actually gets close to where I am, and that's perfectly fine and all, but taking the interstate actually is slower. I don't know how that works, but it's slower. I don't know. Oh, hey Woodles, what? Hey, how's it going? Hi. Hope you guys are doing well. Oh, I was touching the mic there, wasn't I? I forget the mic is right in front of me. If for anyone who hasn't seen what the mic setup is like right now, this is my mic setup right now. It is in a paper towel right in front of my box. This is it. I don't have my stuff yet. I don't. So regarding the movers I chose for this move. So the movers at earliest would have come yesterday to deliver my stuff. However, that did not happen, so I don't have my desk. And I'm still waiting on my stuff. Hopefully I get it this week, but it can also be up to 42 days, up to the end of next month, basically, is the latest I will be getting my things in. So as far as the move is concerned, the move is, other than the 3-day drive that took roughly 22 hours total, it wasn't bad. The 3-day drive was probably the worst thing of what was the worst part of the move, just because I don't like driving any longer than 2 hours. And then you multiply that by 4 and 5, and it's like, how did I survive that? How did I survive that? By the way, during all those during all that 22-hour drive, I had planned to watch some anime that I haven't gotten around to watching yet. Like, I had like a tablet ready, loaded with the anime I wanted to watch. I wanted to put it to the side and use that to distract myself while driving. In hindsight, I'm glad I didn't do that, because the roads are dangerous. Like, for the most part, the drive itself was fairly quiet. There wasn't too many cars. It wasn't like congested or anything like that. But if I got distracted, it would have been bad. So I didn't get to watch those anime. I didn't think ahead to download some podcasts to listen to. And even if I did download the podcast that I wanted to listen to, I don't think I would have had 22 hours worth of podcasts to listen to. I just don't think there may be enough material for that in all the podcasts in the world, but I just didn't think to download that much ahead of time. And so no podcast to listen to. So it was basically silence and the random radio stations I could find along the way, which were interesting, but for the most part, you have to like switch the stations every several miles and stuff, because the radio range and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know how truckers do it, man. I don't know how truckers do it. I feel like they listen to radio all the time, or at least have a co-pilot. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. I'm not much of an audiobook person. At least I haven't started an audiobook. I did get recommended some audiobooks before doing the drive, but I just never got around to it. So that wasn't also an option. But now that I'm here in the new place, you can hear the echo, I think, right? You can probably hear the echo. That's because my furniture is not here yet. It takes 5 to 42 days to deliver the stuff that was packed in the other place. 5 days has passed. 6 days is passing soon. So they have 35. No, wait, it's 36 more days. 36 more days to deliver my stuff. Knowing that that could possibly happen, I decided to pack the bare necessities. The bare necessities being a PC, all my audio equipment, minus the mic boom. I don't have a mic boom, as you can see. An inflatable bed. Inflatable bed was from my grad school days, and it's still serviceable, but I feel like the inflatable bed like sinks too much. Though I did get a pretty good sleep on it, so that no complaints there. Some food, some random kitchenware, but not my entire kitchenware because I can't fit all that stuff in there. So comedy sessions are good to listen to, somewhat more engaging, I think, on a drive. This is true. Yeah, I mean, anything that's good to listen to would be helpful on a drive. I think usually when I drove for like 3 or 4 hours to visit some relatives back home, I used to have this. What do you call this? Like music playlist that would just loop after a couple of hours. See nothing but a black screen at the moment. That might be Twitch. Oh, I think Twitch might have cut out. If anyone is on Twitch, I tried dual streaming on Twitch, and for some reason that cut out. So apologies for that. If you're on Twitch, please switch over to YouTube. The stream is on YouTube, so please check that out instead. Just consider the Twitch stream dead for today. Let's see. I need to learn how to set up audio. I feel like my streams are scuffed because of audio. Audio is the #1 issue for most streams, as well as being the #1 cause of people not sticking around in streams. So the only reason why I have echo right now is because no furniture, or at least not enough furniture to, what do you call this? Enough furniture to absorb the sound waves. The cardboard boxes, the inflatable bed, not exactly the best things to have to absorb sound. They instead reflect sound. That's not good. So, you know what's worse? you know what's worse? In the old place I stayed, right? And this is common in the place I stayed. Carpet everywhere, except for the kitchen and the bathroom, of course. Carpet everywhere in the kitchen and bathroom, and carpet absorbs a lot of sound, which can be a good and bad thing depending on what you want to do. In my bedroom, in the bedroom I used to sleep in, there was carpet everywhere, right? And once you took everything out, there was still a little bit of echo, but not a whole lot of echo. Here, in my new place, it is all wood floors. All wood floors. It feels nice. The wood floors feel nice. I can actually go barefoot on this wood floor, and it's not a bad thing. However, the walls, the vaulted ceiling, the concrete. I think the walls are made of concrete. The floors. Did I mention the floors? They echo sound. They echo a lot of sound. So it's like, hello. Hello. It echoes. It echoes. So yeah, I mean, I can't do anything about it right now just because I don't have my furniture in. When I have the furniture in and it still echoes really, really badly, then maybe I can think of putting the sound foam like an actual studio, and that'll help a little bit. I mean, echo's not so bad, but I'm not picky. I mean, some people are pickier about it than others, and sometimes the echo is like super, super bad. Like right now, as I'm talking, I can hear the echo just in this room. However, I don't know if that echo gets picked up. I'm gonna find out after this stream, because I'll be listening through the recording. But at the moment, it's I don't know what it sounds like. I mean, it makes your voice sound nice. If the echo helps, sure. I mean, I know reverb, whenever you do karaoke and stuff, reverb is actually desirable, right? You want that reverb for the karaoke sound, but you don't want karaoke sound all the time, especially when you're trying to record commentary on anything. And the reverb actually, when you're doing like audio mixing and stuff, it makes things a little bit difficult. I think you typically want to add the reverb in afterwards, but not before. You usually want to work with a clean sample beforehand. Throw a blanket over you to minimize sounding. I don't know. Would that help? I don't know if that would help, because if I throw a blanket over me, it would also cover my face for the camera. So I don't know. I think if I do some kind of soundproofing, I need to like either in front of me, at the very least in front of me. But there's also sound reflecting from other places. I don't know. I will say this though. The living room right now has nothing in there except for the few boxes that I brought with me to pack stuff. And the living room sounds like it could be an orchestra pit. And I've been doing voice practice in that living room, like for like voice acting and even maybe a little singing. I've been doing that in the living room while there's nothing in there. The echo really helps me to get in tune. So hopefully, my voice will be a little bit more cleaned up afterwards. She's hello. I think the Twitch stream should be dead. Hope I because it probably isn't working. I should cut the Twitch stream right now. Actually, hold up. I actually should cut the Twitch stream because I don't think it's working too well. I think the Twitch stream goes in. No, there's nothing there. I don't know why there's nothing there. Oh well, that's not an issue. Excuse me. That's not an issue. Empty room acapella, yeah. Empty room acapella is actually really nice if you think about it. It's good for practice. It's good for singing. It's just great overall. However, that's not where the PC. That's not where the PC is going to be when I do start streaming full time. Not full time, but streaming on a schedule again because. One, I don't want anyone excuse me, I need some water. Like, I don't need anyone coming into the place to immediately know that I stream, so not putting in the living room. Second, even if that wasn't the case, there will be way too much echo, and I would need more foam to what do you call this, to cover the living room, and the ceiling is so high. I think it's like 15 feet or something. It's crazy. I've never had a ceiling like that in an apartment before. In a house, sure, and I've had I've been in a house with like 20 feet ceilings, but not in an apartment. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But the empty room acapella is actually kind of nice. It's like, yeah, I've been doing a bunch of voice impressions from Disco Elysium because Disco Elysium has been stuck in my head. I don't know if anyone here has been watching the Disco Elysium playthroughs, but I want to get back to doing more Disco Elysium playthroughs, or at least record more. I think I have like I know I know I have a couple more recordings of Disco Elysium that I need to do, and hopefully that'll be enough to finish the game. We'll see. And just just to have something in the channel while I'm trying to get back into gear here. The Disco Elysium playthroughs have been like once a week so far. I think there was one that posted earlier today, and then there's going to be another one for the next 2 weeks. But after that, I don't have anything, so I need to record more. I need to get back into recording. Just a setup right now is making it a little difficult, just a little difficult. But anyway, it's the move has been interesting so far. What can I say about the place that I like and don't like? The apartment itself is good. No complaints about the apartment. It's a little pricey though, but hopefully the pay that I get will offset that price. So that's one thing. The town I am in right now, I will tell you this much. It is very wide. It is very flat. It is extremely flat, flatter than the flattest plains I have ever seen before. I don't know how that's possible. Am I below sea level? Because it feels like I'm below sea level sometimes. That's what this place is like. There's no tall buildings. At least I don't see any tall buildings in the area. I don't know if it's because of the potential weather conditions around here that they discouraged really tall buildings, or it's because they have so much space that they can afford to spread out. Kansas City, not Kansas City. I don't even know where Kansas City is. Where is Kansas City? Apparently Kansas City is not in Kansas. Isn't Kansas City in Missouri or something? I don't know. I don't know. But in any case, yeah, the town I'm in right now is extremely flat. No tall buildings, which is, it's not a huge thing, but I just noticed there's no really tall buildings, maybe taller than 6 stories, I want to say. I think I may have seen a couple of hotels that were maybe 20 stories, but they're the exception rather than the norm. I will say, however, there is a beach nearby, maybe about 20 minutes away from me. And I haven't gone to it yet. I plan to go there at least once before I start working next week. And I might take some pictures, share it with you guys if they look good. But there is a beach nearby. I'm not a beach person. I'll be perfectly honest about this. I'm not a beach person. I'm more of a mountain person. But the beach, we'll see. We'll see how good it actually is. Supposedly it's white sand and all that stuff. So we'll see. The food around here, I haven't eaten out yet. Actually, my relatives that live not near me, but that I visited on the way to here, gave me some food like 3 days ago. I'm still working through it. I think I got like 2 or 3 days left of that before I, what do you call this? I do any shopping for myself. So because of that also, I haven't really felt the need to go out and try any local food yet. However, today I decided I wanted to try some pho, right? And there was a pho place next to me, or at least near where I am anyway. And I will say the pho was not bad. It wasn't bad. It was a bit on the sweeter side than I am used to. But it's not unusual because I've had sweet-ish phos before. It's not like sweet sugar, but it's kind of like sweet and a little bit star anisey. I don't know if that's the proper term. But it's got like a it's got a particular taste that tastes like herbal. I think it's not bad. I've definitely had it before in other pho places, but the ones I like are clean, savory, a little salty, a little bit oniony, and cilantro. No, it's mostly onions, salt, and just the broth itself. Those are the type of broths I like. But this pho wasn't bad. Probably not the best around here. Definitely have some more exploring to do regarding that. Noodles were at least good. They didn't clump up, so that's a plus. The meats, they didn't have tripe. I don't know how people feel about tripe in as a cut of meat, but I like tripe in my pho. I didn't think about it before, but in the places I first had pho and the place I like back in where I used to live, tripe was part of the menu. However, not in this place. Not in this place. And when I looked at the clientele that came into the restaurant, these are the type of people who probably would not eat pho. Let's just say that. And it is not the type of people that it's not the clientele that would normally come for traditional pho. The pho was good. The pho passed, but the pho was not made for traditional people. Let's just say that much. Let's just say that much. And the flavor of the pho kind of showed it. However, I have to praise the place for the way they handled the beef tendon. The beef tendon was super soft and actually well cooked. The broth was flavorful and robust, though it was a little bit fatty near the end. And whenever, when soup cools down and the fat solidifies a little bit, it's not great. It's not great. It's good at the start, not so much near the end. I've had pho in good restaurants where it never gets to the point, or if it does get to the point where the broth cools down, that there are no solid fats that come up in the broth, and that's a good pho. It still has some fattiness from the start, but it's like overly fatty where you can taste the individual discs of fat, and that's a bad thing. But so the search still continues, at least for that. I know I'm not gonna get any decent ramen out of this place, but I still gotta try. The one good ramen I left is never good. I mean, I know I'm not gonna get anywhere near that good of a level ramen, but at least there should be something decent around here. So we will see. The food searches will continue. I will say though, there's going to be some really good South American food here that hopefully that is pretty good. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, how are we doing on time? A little bit over an hour. Okay, I think I was gonna stop here for today, guys. Thank you all for coming for this random update in the moving situation. I don't know when I'm going to stream again, though. I want to try to stream again later this week. It probably won't be any of our current games that we're working on. I think we're still working on the Toho Mystia Izakaya. I want to get back into that eventually. There's also what is this called? 13 Sentinel. We're still working on 13 Sentinel and the Toho Izakaya. Probably not going to be doing that this week if I stream again. I want that to be in like a more stable setting. But there is this game called Tower of Fantasy that recently came out. I have it downloaded on my PC, but I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to stream it. It may be tomorrow, it may be the mid or a little bit later. But we're going to be going through at least Tower of Fantasy and checking that out. Some of you guys may have played it before, especially when it came out. But I think that first day when it came out, there were some server issues, so I don't feel like I'm missing out too much. But we're gonna hopefully go through that this week. And even with this slightly echoey situation, I think it's not gonna be too bad of a thing. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna sign off for today. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. Glad to see everyone here again, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone. Have a nice rest of your day. Goodbye.